Okay, this is Nikki Chatfield, and I'm doing a training session on how to edit quizzes from a teacher perspective. And here we are proxying one of our teachers, Evan, and we're going to show you exactly what it looks like from the teacher's perspective to edit a quiz. So here we are this is what it looks like when a teacher logs in, and we have all of these classes below. And to get to the quizzes that you would like to edit, we'll just pick Algebra 2 here. And you can actually, you see Algebra 2, and actually there is an editor button right here. So you can actually just click that. And that enables the editor so that we will be ready to edit once we get to that quiz. It's just taking a minute to get there. And it's going to show you all of the activities in that Algebra 2 course. And so we'll click on Module 1 and look for the first quiz that's available so that we can begin editing. Okay, so we have Module 1, Lesson 1 quiz. And we'll just go ahead and click that. You see over here, there's an edit button. We could click that, or we can go ahead and open the quiz first, and then we can edit from there. It's just taking a minute to open that quiz for us, and then we'll be able to start editing. It's a pretty simple process. You can go into any class to edit your quizzes. Here we go to the quiz in editor. Okay, so this is the quiz, and it's going to show you the opening content for that quiz. And if you look at the top, we're in activity, and then there's actually 3 other tabs up here that we will utilize here in a moment. But first, the content of the quiz, it says click start to begin your quiz. We can actually go in here and type whatever we would like. So if you wanted to type in here, you can type and then save, and it will edit that content. Please know your material. You can type that in here, and then you could save that. Also down here, you'll see you can add activity instructions. You can add an attachment if you would like. The calculator, choose calculator is available to the student during the assessment, basic, standard, scientific. So that's helpful in this Algebra 2 class if you would like to add a calculator for the quiz. That's your choice, of course. And then you can add companion materials here if you would like to. Now I'm just going to take that back out because I don't want to change this quiz, but if I did, I would push save up here, and it would save whatever I had typed right there. And you can also add, and you can insert an image, you can insert a YouTube video, you can embed content, insert equation. There's all kinds of wonderful tools here on your toolbar that you can add for this content page. And then I'm going to show you the settings. So we'll go to the next tab at the top, and it's settings. And so this shows you the settings for the quiz. And currently this is set up for number of attempts as 1. Now if we click the drop down, you can make it unlimited. You can make it custom and pick how many times you would like for the quiz to be done. Questions per page. All, 1, custom. That's how your student is going to view it. Right now it is set up so they see 1 question at a time on the page, but you can change that if you would like. Allow, save, and continue. This is not clicked. You could click that. Require answers is checked. Random question order is checked, and randomized response order is checked. So these are the parameters of the quiz right now. And you'll see over here, weight and category, 100%. Grading category, it's called a quiz. You could change this to exam, assignment, participation, whatever you might like there. This activity counts as extra credit. This is not checked, but if you wanted it to be extra credit, you could click that. Objective mastery, you have all kinds of options here. I don't think that's something you'll probably use. Metadata, probably not. Assessment review, this might be something. Choose how students review assessment results, always. These are all checked always. You could change that if you wanted to. You see there's a ton of options here. So the first thing I think before editing a quiz is that a teacher should really have a good idea of what is working for the student when it comes to the quiz and what is not working for the student when it comes to the quiz, and have, you know, good ideas of how you want to change things before you get in here. Assessment pool settings, desired number of questions, so different options here. Advanced gradebook options. Right now, it's set up, score can be dropped from calculated course score, include this activity score in final grade calculation. You could require a passing score for course credit, treat as 0 in the grade book until this activity is scored. So these are different options you have to change there. And we'll go over to the right column. Visibility and access, right now this is all open, but you could hide from table of contents. You could block access until student completes other activities. You could block access until student master objectives, or you can actually require a password to take a quiz, and that's where that would come into play. Advanced assessment options. Right now, there's no time limit. Default question score 1, attempt minimum 1. This might be interesting to some. Allow printing. So if we clicked this and allowed printing, then perhaps you wouldn't see the error that says if you print it, it's an attempt. So this might be an important thing for your school or your students to allow printing, so it does not count it as an attempt. And you see all these other options you have here. Lots of options when editing a quiz here. I won't go through them all. Everyone can read that. You can, of course, stop and rewatch this video at any time. So those are all of the logistics for the quiz. Now we'll get into the actual questions of the quiz, which are actually a bit simpler. We'll click the questions tab. And right now, Model 1 Lesson 1 quiz in our Algebra 2 class has 10 questions. And you can see what they are. We'll click on number 3 here. Write a rule to describe the function shown. You see it's multiple choice here. Write a rule to describe the function shown. Feedback always. Interaction, you see you have options here that you could change. Score, partial extra credit, calculator, you can add those, of course. And all these are options that were on the other pages as well. So we could change this, we could leave it as it is, we could change the points. All of these could be, you can change each actual existing question within the quiz. You can also add a question. So if you say, well, 10 questions is not enough, I feel like there's more material that needs to be covered, you can create a new question. You can choose whether it's multiple choice, and you have lots of options here. So instead of multiple choice, you can have custom, essay, fill in a blank, matching, multiple answer, ordering, passage. So right now it's set on multiple choice, but you have all these options. You change, or when you're creating a question, you can change any of those options. You can also change your point value. And then here you have, since we're doing multiple choice, we're going to type you can type a question here, and you have your whole toolbar that comes up. Type your question, and then you would type the correct response here, the one that's already checked, and then you could type the choice questions that are not correct in the ones that are not checked. Those are the items that are not correct. So the checked one here is the correct answer. So you'll want to make sure that when creating this new number 11 question for this quiz. And then you can change, once again, we have the same parameters down below. Right now it has no label. You could put a label on it. maintain response order. You have different options here. Your score options again, your calculator options again, and these options as well over here. So you can add new questions at any time, and you have lots of different choices. So you might want to review this and be ready with how you would like to add questions before you jump in here, so that you have a nice consistent flow to your new questions that you might want to add to your quizzes. So that's the adding a question. And down here say, oh, you know what? I don't want to add number 11, so we're just going to delete that. And now your quiz has not changed at all. And then history, there's not much to do in the history tab. It just shows your objectives, old value, new value. So different history on this quiz. That's not something you're probably going to use. So we'll go back to the beginning. You have activity. This is your opening page, what the students see before they start the quiz or test. And you can change all of that. You have settings. This might be a page you want to study and read through before you make any edits to make sure it's exactly how you want it to work. And of course, you can change this at any time. So if you make a change, you can change it back to the original setting if you like the way it was before, or you like the new settings. And then questions, that's where you add new questions to your quiz or test. So those are the 3 tabs you're going to use the most when editing a quiz. And the editing a test, editing an exam, those all work the exact same way as this editing of a quiz here. And then when you're all done, you would push save to make sure that everything you did is saved. And then you can actually preview it. Let's see, sorry. Preview. And you can preview the quiz. And that is the editing of a quiz. It's fairly simple. There's a lot to it that you would want to study and learn before ever editing. But once you get in there, you have a lot of options, and you can make the quizzes, very personalized to your student body and make sure that it's working the best way possible for your students. And then I'm just back to the Algebra 2 class, and you see we have all of our modules. So here we have quite a few quizzes in this first module. So you see, if you do want to edit, you have your work cut out for you there. But after you edit that first quiz, you'll be up and running. And if you use a consistent rubric for changing the quizzes, then you will be off and running, and this can be done very quickly. Now, if there are simple edits or simple global edits that you would like for us to do on your quizzes or tests, anything that you saw here today that you thought, oh gosh, if they could just click that one button for all of my quizzes and tests, we can certainly do that for you. But obviously, a lot of teachers have very customized approaches for their students, and that might be something you would like to handle. And I hope that you found this quiz editing video extremely helpful, and we wish you all a wonderful day.